We're three millennial Latina first-time moms and entrepreneurs who connected at the start of our radio careers. From partying at nightclubs to figuring out Nightfeeds, we've been friends for 14 years.
We're not experts, just honest moms navigating motherhood together, from pregnancy and the newborn stage to toddlerhood, one phase at a time.
We're excited to share what we've learned, what we wish we'd known, and everything in between.
Welcome to Nightclubs to Nightfeeds. Episode 14. We are just flying by with these episodes.
I can't.
Countdown to our quinceañera.
Oh my God.
I'm very excited for more details on that soon. But let's talk about the good stuff.
Yeah.
All of the firsts, all of the exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you're pregnant, everyone's saying, and we're naming this episode, just wait to the good parts, because so many times I feel when all of us were pregnant and seeing our friends be pregnant before and after us, cousins, etc., there's so many people that are saying, just wait till you're not sleeping.
I hate it.
Just wait till you're,
It's always negativity.
It's always so many negative comments. So we wanted to make an episode dedicated to just waiting the good parts.
Please.
Because there are so many beautiful, beautiful moments that are sometimes truly undescribable.
Facts.
And it's the majority.
Yes.
And people don't talk about them. And I think
Yes.
this goes back to like, oh gosh, all she wants to do is talk about her kids. Yada, yada. It's like, yes, I want to talk about my kids because these are the exciting times.
Yes.
And it's oddly like people accept you talking about your kids when it's like, oh, I hardly got any sleep. Or like it's bad things.
Yeah.
But like, why can't I talk about the good things and be excited?
It's like, I think you were in the thick of newborn. It was like early on when you had Santi. Saint had just started laughing.
yes.
And I sent a video of Saint laughing. I think it was Zaire and Saint playing and like
Yes.
Saint was laughing. And I sent it to you. And I'm like, this is what you
Yes.
have to look forward to. And I sent it because I knew you were in like the thick.
And also
Yeah.
because Saint is not that far ahead of Santi.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it is something for me to be like, wow,
Yes.
she's not that far ahead.
Yes.
And look at the difference. Look
Yeah,
at
Wait,
how,
are they 9 months apart?
6?
6.
Yeah,
Okay,
6
got it.
months.
Like
6
7.
months. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
because he's May
Yeah.
30th.
Yeah.
He's December 29th.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like almost to the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
because
Poppy's
of that,
the 30th too.
Really?
Yeah, January 30th.
Oh my gosh. Why did I make that connection?
29 and 30. So because he's on the 29th, like every month we've been like, oh, it's his 14 month, his 15 month, his 16 month. But because February didn't have a 29th
yeah.
this year, we were like, wait, what happened? He didn't have
We
it.
did that too.
It's a leap month. It's a
Yeah,
leap
yeah.
month.
Yeah, so we celebrate. I think it was his, I don't remember, like 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever month it was. And we were celebrating the months. And we're like, I don't know.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
I think we did February, March 1st, I think.
Okay,
I
got
don't
it.
know.
You just pushed
Yeah,
it
just
to the
carried
next.
it over.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like some of the, obviously talking about the first laughs, like there
Oh
is
my
just
God.
nothing like that moment. And I think sometimes, like we were talking about crawling in the last episode, and sometimes you're like, is this happening? Is she really doing this? Or is he really doing this?
Yeah.
And I feel that when Poppy Drew did get it on video when she laughed the first time, but we were like, wait, did she just laugh?
Was
Yeah,
it a
we
laugh?
did too.
What just happened?
We did that too. Yeah. Yeah. It's so cute. Like
It's
the
exciting
first,
because they're becoming like their own little person.
Yeah.
Like especially when you see their personalities come out. And that's why I think like that newborn, even infant fog phase is like, okay, you're just in routine. You're doing all the things. You're
Yep.
trying to learn at the same time, trying to find your own routine and the
Right.
baby's routine. And this, but then when you start seeing them become their own little person, you're like, wait, I could take a little pause. I could have a little breath and like enjoy these sweet moments.
Yeah.
And they will just keep coming and coming. Like, I feel like it's nonstop after. It's like the laugh, the
Yes.
crawl, the first words.
Yeah.
Just hearing their voice more and more
Yeah.
is so cute.
And yeah, when they start doing all these different things and dropping a nap or becoming more flexible with their schedule, like
Yeah.
a whole new world opens up that I didn't really, obviously when you're pregnant and stuff, you don't know. You're just getting into this parent community. You're just getting into the mom community. And one of the most exciting times for me was finally being able to leave the house with Poppy by myself, like being like, oh, I could take her. We used to go to the Grove or the Americana a lot because they have a whole baby room and like a nursery, and I could breastfeed her there. And so I'd be like, I just need to get out of the house. Like I'm a big get out of the house person. And so when I started being able to like venture out on my own and do those things, and sometimes I would take my grandma too, but like that became an exciting new chapter where it was so cool to like, you know, you go to these malls all the time and like do all these things, but when you start taking your baby, it's a whole different experience where like
different
they're looking at the waterfall like, what the hell is that? You know, it's their first time seeing water squirt up in the air or like lights and things like that. It's just so amazing. And I think like people talk about like, you know, taking kids to certain places too young. And we took Poppy to Disneyland when she was 6 months, and I do not regret a single damn thing.
I love that.
It was the most beautiful experience. And obviously Drew and I both being like Disney adults and we love Disney, it was so cool to just see like her looking at everything, because I think that's what people think, like they're not gonna be able to do much. Yeah, they're not. Obviously, they're not crawling or walking, which is honestly kind of great. But there are certain things that they're just looking around. Like the Winnie the Pooh ride is very like iridescent. Like there's lots of lights and water and Small World and all these different things that like you know you don't realize are so new to them and so amazing. Like they're just staring in awe. And seeing all that stuff through your baby's eyes is like truly emotional. And like it doesn't have to be Disneyland. It could literally be the water fountain down the street from your house. But like those new experiences that you don't think about like stopping to like take it all in until you're then like watching it through your baby's eyes and you're like, oh wait.
I think for us that's what the travel was. And and we didn't know a lot of people that traveled that young with kids. And we were like, honestly really scared because you need all of the things and it is scary. But we're like, we want him to see things, and we're not that big Disney people. Like we love Disney, but like he just doesn't know it yet. So we're like, what do we do that we don't want to stop doing just because we have kids? And that's travel for us. So like him seeing everything, the airplane alone was like such an experience after we sanitized everything. But yeah, seeing all of those things and just the milestones, like when he was first on an airplane at like 7 months to 11 months, just the difference of just those few months. Yeah, just the experience for him. Like, and then going at like 15 months, like it's always a different experience to him. I think is brand new every time. So just experiencing those moments and being out of that fog is like, okay, we're in a good space.
It really helped me too. Remember I talked about how at the beginning I was super dissociating? So once that like what you just said about the fog settling, it helped to pull me out of dissociation and bring me back into this moment. Because in this moment, he's watching the trees. In this moment, he's feeling breeze for the first time. In this moment, he's seeing a flower. Like he's seeing these things, which makes me come back to the present moment and really enjoy this. And this isn't hard. It isn't hell. It isn't like all this hard stuff. Like at the beginning, it's really enjoyable for me to like come back into this moment, you know?
And I know like it's really special for us as moms, obviously, to like start building that relationship with our babies, like separate from the breastfeeding. You know, breastfeeding was always my moment. And like when I lost the night feed, I've shared like that was really rough and like sad for me. But then even when the personalities start coming through, like you get to bond over new things or like stuff they like. He loves those flashcards that talk. And like that's our thing together, because when the animals make noise, it'll be like gorilla. I do the noises and he laughs. He thinks it's like so funny, and that's our thing. Like we find new things that are your thing. But then I think it's also special the older that they get, you seeing them build relationships with other people. Like the way I was telling you, like he does certain things with Henry that he doesn't do with me. And as much as I'm like, why doesn't he do with me? I love that he has those things with Dad. And like he has those things, like he has certain things with his grandparents or even his cousins. Like now that he's getting older, I see him watching his older cousins and like they think he's so cool. Like they think he's so cute because it's like, oh, baby Santi, even though they're not that far apart, you know? He's a baby, right? They're big kids, you know? So like just the whole relationship, like relationships forming with other people other than yourself. It's so cute and special to see.
It's really cute to see how it brightens up. It's really beautiful to see like the joy he brings to so many people's lives too. Like even when they're not around. Like I know that Saint's grandmother, we had gifted her one of those frames that the images change so we could send photos and they update.
Oh my gosh, so
and they
cute.
Update and so she loves them.
Wait,
every time
you update the photos?
Yeah, we send her photos.
Gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so instead of texting her photos, we update the frame with photos.
That's exciting.
So every time she gets an image, she'll text me or Zaire, and she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute!"
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to send me what
I'll
frame
send it
that
to you.
is. That's so cute.
And we saw her recently. We went to visit her, and so she showed it. she showed us the frame, like where it is. She's like, I love it. Every morning I say, hey, Saint. And like, it's the cutest thing. So like to see the joy that he brings to people's lives too is amazing.
And I feel like talking about those relationships, it's like, it's so deep that they literally are having secure attachments to people outside of you. Like you're saying, like, it's like, it really is forming this like deep connection at such an early age, which obviously like all of us have that in different ways in our lives, like with our cousins, our tias, and everybody, you know? And I think like Poppy now is at the age where she is like, I could see it happening on a deeper level. Like she's always obviously like with my in-laws and with my mom, like she's always been very close with them because we are close in proximity and it's easy for her to see them all the time. But I feel like lately in the past few weeks, I've been seeing how she's now like that with her tias and her titis. And she didn't used to be like that. Like it'd always be like, Mom, like, you know, like we'd be around them and she'd like obviously be playing with them and stuff. But at the end of the day, it was always Mom, back to Mom, you know, and make sure Mommy's coming with me and doing everything. And now, like we stayed at my friend Simone's, and that's Poppy's Auntie Moan. And when we were staying there, she was so attached to her. And I told Simone, I'm like, I'm so sorry that you've been watching my child like 90% of this trip. That was not my intention. She's following you everywhere, which she had never done before. And so she's like walking into her room like, oh, Auntie Moan, this is your jewelry. And she's following her out to the garden, helping her pick things from the garden.
And that's exciting for them as adults, because that happened to me with my nephew, who's now 5. Like when he was so little, he did have more stranger danger like most kids do. So hanging around with me like solo was a little difficult, but now even like if I go over, he's like, look at my room, look at my new Sonic bed, look at, you know, like he wants to show like all of the stuff, and I'm like, show me, I want to see everything, like what are your toys? And he also wants to show Santi everything, like can Santi play with this? And I'm like, like let him play with all your big boy toys, you know. So it's exciting for me being on that other end, because I'm like, yes, Papa, show me everything.
And being on both ends is so interesting, because it's like, you know, now even more so as a parent, like when you were just a tia, like it was like, yes, obviously, like I have all these amazing relationships with my nieces and nephews, and you're a safe space for them, which is such an honor, I feel, you know. And then seeing those same friends with those kids or you know, family members reciprocate that to your child, I feel like there's nothing like it. Like it's like you think that you have friends and people who are close to you now, like before having a child sometimes, or being pregnant, and then that reaches a whole new level when you have kids. Like when you keep those people in your lives and they really like nurture those relationships with your child, like there really is like to me it feels like euphoria within a friendship or within a relationship where you're like, oh, I see how much you love my child, which like makes me feel this whole new level of love for you that I didn't even know existed, because I already thought I loved you to like the max, you know. And then you're like, now I love you even more, and I didn't even know that was possible. Like it really like enhances your relationships with a lot of people. And I feel like that with my mom too. Like it's like, obviously, I know she loves her grandchild, but I think like as the older that Poppy gets, the more I see their relationship develop, and I'm like, wow, this is developing to the relationship that I have with my grandma. And to me, like that relationship is unmatched. Like that is my bestie. My grandma is.
I was gonna say when you mentioned a few minutes ago that you would go with your grandma, I'm like, the fact that you still have your grandma to do that is amazing. Like you are blessed and lucky, and
thank you.
For Poppy to be able to meet her great grandma, that is amazing. So special.
And that's like one of the things where, you know, when I stepped away from working so much and stuff, when I had Poppy, and was really like, okay, what am I going to do next? Like I still want to be making the money, but I want to be home with her, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Like I really sat down and was like, how lucky am I to get to spend this time with not only my baby, but my grandma, who's in her 80s, who otherwise, if I wasn't picking her up and doing things with her, like she would just be at home, you know? And like I have a lot of cousins who like fill the void with her too, you know? But for the most part, I would say like I'm the number one person, besides my mom, like always reaching out and being like, let's do something this week, and trying to keep her active and all that stuff. And so I think like, seeing that bond between the two of them, who are literally 80 years apart.
And it's going to keep her young.
Oh my God, yes. And helping her remember and stuff, you know? And I think like, again, as Poppy gets a little older and it becomes less difficult for my grandma to watch her, like, because now she can really play with her, and like it's not always having to carry her around everywhere. It's this whole new world that I'm like, wow, I get to experience this and watch this from afar. And I take so many videos and all this stuff because I know, like, you know, she is older, and like I just am trying to like take every moment
Savor
in
it.
and it's one of the most like special, and I know that so many people are not as lucky to have multi-generational families.
Listen,
you know.
Yeah, so my abuelita, she's in her early 90s.
Okay.
And so I grew up with her, and you know, I've had all these like amazing memories with her. So she's in hospice right now. And so she don't get emotional. Gosh. So she's in hospice, and so she didn't meet Saint until she's actually been in hospice for a while. She's like a fighter.
Yeah.
And so I didn't take Saint to meet her until Saint was probably, maybe like close to 1. Because also she's in hospice in one of those centers. Like a lot of people are sick, so I just didn't want to bring Saint around. So then I also felt like I really want Saint to meet her. And so the day that I took Saint to meet her, she also has dementia. She's not all there, but the moment she met him, the way she lit up. And like she started crying like when she met him. And then Saint was also like, he wasn't scared. Like he was just, it felt like Saint knew who she was. And like Saint was present, and she was happy. And I was happy. My mom was there and she was happy too, you know? And it was like really beautiful just that they were able to meet. I took so many videos, so many photos. And same too, like I've only taken Saint twice for that reason, because there's so many sick people in that space. And so the second time, Saint was just like looking at her, and he's also like more aware now than like he was the first time. And he wasn't, well, I think one point he was like a little scared, but he was just there. Like he was holding her hand, and it was just like the cutest. So to see the joy that she has, where she, you know, has dementia and she's not all there a lot of the times, like for her to be centered in that moment. The most beautiful thing. You know?
It's special.
It is so special.
You guys are lucky. I have no grandparents. I only met one grandmother, and like she was my best friend. So like that's also why now when I see my son playing with my mom or Henry's mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, it does make me emotional, because I was like, this was my grandma. A lot of the tattoos I have are for my grandmother. And I think I had shared with you guys, like when I was giving that last push to get Santi out, like I had a playlist, and the song that was played at her funeral was Yesterday by the Beatles. That song came on, and my sister, like it's a weird thing. Like I love hearing that song, but I also will change it a lot of the times because I just don't want to be sad. So like sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'll be sad right now. I'll listen to the song.
I have a moment to be sad.
But a lot of the times I like skip it, you know? I'm like, not right now. I can't deal with it, like being sad. That song came on, and my sister, I see her going to the stereo to like change it, and I'm like, leave it, let the song play. And like the whole song played, and he came out like right after that to a different Beatles song. But yeah, just that presence, and now seeing my mom, Henry's mom, playing and being so close with my son, I'm like, that's all that I want, because the abuelita baby relationship is unmatched. So special. So special.
And you even talking about that, like speaking about family that is here and family that's not here, like another thing that I think is so beautiful and amazing, and I wouldn't have if Poppy wasn't here, is like another connection to our family members who have passed. And I never thought that like that would be a thing. Like obviously they say, you know, babies are more susceptible to seeing spirits and people that are there, you know, with them that we can't necessarily see. But there have been times where I have been like shooketh to my core with
what?
Like how
oh my gosh, like she's gonna have those like, wait, what are your senses? She's gonna have your
the clairaudience, clairvoyance,
all the things.
Okay, wait, tell us the story.
So once when
I need a blankie.
Not a blankie.
That's scary. I promise.
Okay, so, I don't do well with scary stuff. That's why.
She gets scared. So it was not scary. Okay, so when Poppy was just over 1, right? She was like talking at that point, like talking in like pretty sentences, like putting things together, right? So anyway, we're standing there. We're on her changing table, and I had taken out like a like a dress that my mom had given me that was my sister's. And so it was going to fit Poppy because for those that don't know, my sister had trisomy 18, which she passed away when she was 13, but she always had the body of like a baby, right? And so when she was really like the dress that my mom gave me for her for Poppy's first Christmas or second Christmas was like tiny. It was like, it actually was her first. Yeah, I can't remember first or second. Anyway, it was small. I took it out and I was showing Poppy and I'm like, Nana gave us this for, you know, for your Christmas or whatever. And she's like looking at it and she's like, thank you, Nana. It must have been when she was about to be 2. And she's like, thank you, Nana. And then I said, yeah, Tia Erica also gave it to you. Like, it's from Tia Erica. And she like looks at it and she's like, Tia Erica's with Coco. And I was like,
who's Coco?
Coco, like the
from Coco?
Yeah, from Coco, like the afterworld,
yeah.
you know? And so I'm like, huh? And this was right before Dia de los Muertos, right? So it was the week before, and I was thinking all week long, I was planning out how I was going to talk to her about Dia de los Muertos, and like we were going to have a gathering of our family. And so I was like, okay, like how do I make this fun for her and engaging and get to share something with her that we didn't necessarily grow up celebrating as much because we were Christian and everyone thought it was a little like evil. And, you know, since obviously it was very much like
right.
colonialism, you know, being colonized. Mm-hmm. So now I'm trying to implement that more in her life. So I was thinking that whole week, how am I going to explain this to her? You know, she had seen Coco and I hadn't talked about it. It was just going on in my own head. So when she said that, I was like, huh? And then she said like, yeah, Tia Erica, she's with Coco. And with Dante.
Not Dante,
and I'm like,
the dog.
You can't
the
forget about
dog.
Dante.
You can't forget about
He is
Dante.
there. You know?
And I have never, obviously she's like not even 2 yet. I had never talked to her about where my sister is, about my sister passing away. I'd never, nothing. Like she has no like backstory on anything. She's not even 2 years old yet. And
meanwhile, she's teaching you.
Yeah, she's like,
no, I know exactly
with Coco and with Dante. And I like immediately started tearing up. And I was like, yeah, she is, baby. She is with them, you know? And I had to go and like sit down because I was like, how does she know that? You know, like it just was so crazy. And then that following week when we made our altar and stuff, I was like, then I showed her the picture of my sister and I was like, we're going to put it on the altar. And it made me realize like, oh, I know that we're doing this to like bring back this amazing cultural tradition, you know? But now I really believe, like I already kind of did, you know, but I'm like, she knows because like she's over here just like all of our family's just walking around in the house having that meal with us during Dia de los Muertos. And like that year, oh my God. Yeah, they're all walking around and like, and I'm like, she really does like, you know, is in touch with that stuff. She's also been like that about our dog who passed when she was smaller. She'll like, she's said before, like I have it on video. She's been like, oh, Darla's right here. And I'm like, where? She's like, right here. And like and she'll say now that Darla's with Dante. That's like, yes. And so I fully believe totally that our dogs and our animals like fully go to the spirit world.
Wait, when this happened?
At this time, it was before she was 2, that first time.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait, that's great to string along those many words before 2.
Oh, yes.
Nicole's like, wait, how many words is she saying?
Saint's about to be 2, so I'm doing the math.
We were getting into that the next episode, the talking stuff. But it was I was very shocked. And so I feel like I didn't realize those would be some of the good parts is like she is that bridge sometimes when I'm not fully paying attention, like you're saying, like stopping and smelling the flowers or looking at the leaves or like picking flowers or looking at roly-polies, like all these things that you forget about that you did as a kid or like feeling more connected or having an more open mind, period.
Yeah. You like get to now do it all again with your
because
kid.
Somebody is telling you, Mommy, this is, you know, whatever it is, like, I want to go look for roly-polies. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Gross, but okay.
I always wanted to look for roly-polies.
Me too. Yeah. Now we know too much.
And I would roll them.
My brother would burn them.
What? That's so sad.
I know. Big brother stuff that he used to do.
I know.
Yeah, I used to like roll. I used to like touch them, and I liked how they like.
Oh my God, I still do that with Poppy. I'm like, put it in my hand, and then we're gonna do a little touch.
So wait, Saint is gonna be 2 this month. Oh my God, which is
I can't believe it.
That's wild. So give me a just wait for 2. For 2 years old.
Oh my God.
I feel like there's a lot.
There's so much. So much obviously, you know, happens in a year, but I feel like the beginnings of 2 for Poppy were a lot more like talking. Like it's just like fully telling you what they want, one. And then a lot more like you're able to do so many more cool things with them. Like it's like you don't think you're going to, and then they obviously start getting more interested in different things. So right now, like a just wait good part is like she's really into animals, which she's always kind of been, and like dinosaurs. And so now I'm learning about animals, like their scientific names and like all these things that I am like,
give us a tidbit. What are you learning about right now? Tell us.
There was, Storybots is her new favorite thing, which I was another mom friend, Storybots. So it's it's on Netflix. It's like the kids ask a question, like a Google question, a question you would Google, and the Storybots answer, and they go into this whole thing. And so the last one was like, how many animals exist in the world? Like, how many animals are there? There's over 10 million, they believe. They can't count them all. So that's a little tidbit.
Okay.
But remembering like how you separate animals into like vertebrae and invertebrate and like all of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So she is like, I am telling you, she will watch one episode. And it is
sticks.
locked and loaded in there. And I'm like, she'll just bring up random things that I'm like, we watched that one time. Like, how are you recalling this information?
Wow.
And so right now I've been like really diving into all of those interests with her. Like, we went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which we've been to before, but now she's so much more advanced that it's like she's asking me like, Mommy, read that sign. What does it say? What's its name? Okay, what does it eat? Like all these questions.
She's like, noted.
Yes.
Noted.
Whereas before she just used to look at them and be like, that's a stingray. But now it's like literally we're at the Monterey Bay. All the fun facts. I'm like, look at baby, there's the sharks over there. And she's like, yeah, that's a white spotted bamboo shark. I'm like,
she's like, be specific, Mom.
Right. What type of shark?
Come correct.
Come on. So it's like such a fun thing because I'm like, you're teaching me so much because I was not the girl who was super into animals. Like she is into princesses too, but not as deep as I was. Mm-hmm. And so she is like, I don't know, just like bringing me into this like new world that's so fun to me.
I love that you guys like aren't the same. I feel like if I have a daughter, it's very much going to be that. Yeah. And I wasn't into like the dolls or anything. I'm like, I know if I have a girl, she's going to be like pink everything, Barbies, like the girliest girly girl. And I'm like, I will be okay with that because I never was that. So I'd be like embracing that. Like,
were you like into dinosaurs and stuff?
No. Okay. I was into sports.
Okay. Yeah.
I was into music.
Yep.
Yeah, but my sister was very much the doll girl, and I remember like she had the Barbies, the Polly Pockets,
loved Polly Pockets,
yeah, Polly Pockets
and Barbies,
and I never wanted to play with the dolls, but I would build her houses. I would build the doll houses, like out of VHS tapes and cassettes. I'd make the little doors, like out of whatever I had, I'd build her doll houses, and then she'd play with the dolls. So that's how we would play together. Yeah, but I never wanted to play with the dolls. But I'm like, if I have a daughter, I know she's gonna be all of the
opposite.
Things.
Yeah.
I wonder that too, how I'm gonna be with a daughter.
Yeah.
As opposed to a son.
Yeah.
I wonder that.
Only one way to find out.
Okay, what about good parts, the holidays?
The holidays.
Oh my gosh.
For me, it's not, it hasn't like sunken in yet, I feel, because I've only done one holiday stretch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
And Santi was still like such a little blob, you know? Yeah. So
a blob?
He was a blob. Blobby. So like I couldn't really do much with him, but I'm looking forward to this year holidays because he's gonna be walking, he's gonna be talking, he's gonna be like, we could do cute holiday. Like I dressed him up as Santa last year, which was his first Christmas.
Cute.
He's Santa Claus. That's why.
Santa Claus.
I think that's gonna be a yearly thing. Poor thing.
Oh my god,
he's gonna hate
the rest
it
of his life. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah. But until he lets me do it, I'm gonna put him in Santa outfit.
As you
he will be Santa Claus. But I'm excited for this holiday because. Yeah, I feel like he's just going to accept it all more. I'm excited for lights. Like
the lights is amazing.
We did all that last year, but again, he is a little blobby. So like, it wasn't that exciting. And I'm excited to do like all of the things this year. Again, it's just going to be a whole different world.
Okay, can we just stop and just talk about how dope this recording studio is? I feel like everyone hits me about like where it's at, how cool it is, what's the situation. It's called Project Studios in Monterey Park.
Everything is here. And the staff does everything for you as well. The editing, the producing, the lighting,
the cameras,
everything. We need that good lighting. Yeah. Get out of here.
And you could create such dope content here. Like downstairs is a full production area that literally is like for music videos, big scale production. And next door they even have a place where like you can do flat lays if you sell clothing, jewelry, whatever you sell. It's like professional level studio next door that you can use.
And it's only 9 minutes from downtown LA. And there's parking here. In LA, it's so annoying to find parking. And I know that was a big thing when we were looking for podcast space was where in LA that we can all park and feel safe and
safe.
feel comfortable. Yes. And that is here. Make sure to follow them on Instagram so you can see more of all the fun stuff they do at Project LA, and you can schedule a creative consultation at projectstudios.com.
Tell them we sent you.
We just had Easter, and so it was so cute that this year he was able to go find the eggs and like knew to look for them. As like last year he was like, cool. Yeah, cool.
That's
but like now he's going.
He's
like, look at them. Yeah,
what's happening?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm the mom who does the absolute most, which I know this about myself.
I love that.
And so every year it's like, I mean, my husband thinks I'm crazy because I do like a start of the season basket, which like obviously I learned from
Start of the season?
Okay, so
I feel like this is the cheer in you. Like this is the cheerleader, like team, like festivities.
Yeah,
and
it
all
is.
the things.
Team spirit. It totally is.
Go team.
Yes, go team. So at the start of the spring season, like I make her a little basket for all of Easter stuff. So I usually will pack like pajamas, a book, and like either an activity or like an outfit for her to wear. So this year she got little Easter pajamas that you could like color the Easter eggs on the pajamas, you know?
I've
and
seen
then
those.
I got her an Easter book.
What do you call these seasonal
So there's the boo basket for like Halloween time.
Okay.
And then this one I just call like the spring basket. And then we also do one before the holidays. So that one's like her holiday basket.
Yeah.
So usually I always do a pajama set because they always need pajamas.
Yeah.
And like obviously festive ones are cute.
Right.
I always do a book that's like seasonal themed. And then sometimes I go over the top and get like a lot more things that I was like already planning on giving her that I just put all in there.
In the basket.
And then sometimes I don't. For this one, I just did like the pajamas, the book, and like a little activity. For the holidays, obviously, sometimes it gets a little bit more out of control.
So wait. So for the holidays, if you know you're going to give her gifts for Christmas, do you give her gifts early too?
No. So the holiday basket is like Christmas pajamas. Like last year, I think I did like stuff to make like cookies, like put little like spatula in there for her and different things like that. I did like painting Santa kit. Just things that you would use for them already and things that you can use when you've been home all day and you're like, oh, I need an activity for them.
Savior.
Yes.
Emergency.
Go to the basket and grab it out and it's like festive and holiday. And some of like I get things that sometimes we can use throughout the holiday too. Like this last year I got Poppy the cookie plate that she could paint for Santa.
Oh,
and so then it's like
cute.
a keepsake, you know, like you can have things that are keepsakes in that little basket.
Yeah.
And then usually for the holidays, we will take multiple holiday photos.
Not multiple.
So for Easter, we do the Easter Bunny photo at the Grove
Even
every
for
year.
Easter, like which is like a grade C holiday, would we say?
Oh my gosh,
No,
not a grade
not a
C.
grade C.
Like Christmas is a A.
Okay,
for
Christmas
sure.
is a A,
Top
and
Halloween is a A. Thanksgiving is a B.
No.
Valentine's Day could be a B.
Easter's a B.
Nah.
Easter's a B in my family, if not an A minus. It's
What?
Yeah, we're very big on Easter.
Wait, above Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Above Thanksgiving?
Above Valentine's Day.
Above Thanksgiving. The meal that we're thankful for.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We are big.
Wow.
We are a big Easter family. I don't know if it's because we grew up super like Christian and stuff. Or, you know, so it was always a big, like we didn't celebrate Halloween for a long time because when we were in our super Christian era. And so then we always celebrated Easter. My mom always made us Easter baskets, even when we got older.
That's cute.
And so, yeah, Easter is very big in my family.
Okay.
Like, it's like, you know, my husband's a big golf person and Master Sunday falls on the day that we're celebrating Easter with like my big family.
I don't even know what that
and
means.
I'm like,
but it's like a big golf event.
Yeah,
basically like Super Bowl for golf.
Okay.
So he is like,
like,
what are we
that?
gonna do? I'm like, I don't care. Like I look,
it's
like
Easter.
I'm like both of us look forward. Like he's like, I look forward to this all year. I'm like, I look forward to this all year. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Like he realized like Easter is really big in your family. It's like a second Christmas to us. And so, yeah, because we're like a big Mexican Puerto Rican family. And so it's like several dishes. The kids, we have like the confetti eggs and all that stuff. And we're running around chasing each other with them. All the kids get baskets. We do matching dresses for all the girls.
That's
like
cute.
it's a whole thing. And
we do all the eggs mainly just because we want to crack eggs on each other.
Yes.
Like we have those eggs year round. Like,
Oh, you guys actually
it's so
do?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
you
the confetti.
smash it on each other's heads.
Really?
Yeah, my
Yes.
nephew thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh my God.
That's
It's
and
straight
confetti
chaos.
comes out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I a mom? Like, I don't know this.
I think it's a Mexican tradition mostly.
My mom would do this with us when we were we're big on holidays, but like Easter's still a grade C for me.
Grade C? Oh no, it needs to get upgraded this year. Okay, I mean next year.
Maybe now because I have kids. Yeah. Like Santi he couldn't even walk or crawl last Easter. Yeah. So maybe it will come up to like a B minus.
Different. B minus, please. I would love that. So we do so the Easter picture is usually at the Grove every year, and we've done it since Poppy was 3 months. This was her 4th Easter, so we have all those photos for the magnets, which are so cute. Yeah. And then we also do like a little photo shoot with this like local spot that does like a little mini dollhouse where the kids like get in and it looks like they're like giants, and it's super adorable.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, I can picture it. Yeah.
So it's just, to me, it's like obviously when you become a mom, capturing the memories is so important. Yes. And I think like obviously sometimes it's hard to do that. Yeah. But I think like we all kind of make little adjustments in the way that feels like more special to us.
Listen, if you don't do this already, if you have an iPhone, you have to put your mode to live photo. Has to be live photo, because then when you're like down the line looking back at the photos, it comes alive a little bit.
It comes alive.
It's very Harry
and you
Potter.
can make videos out of them.
You can make videos out of them too.
I do that a lot. Like even if I'm not recording video, I'll just keep shuttering my live photos because I know I can cut it into a video, and they have audio too. So it really is like, especially for kids, for sure. It's clutch.
Yeah,
and also because I did this with my live photos when Poppy was born, we weren't allowed to video in the hospital. They didn't let us take a video. I don't know why Kaiser is like that.
Wait.
But the nurse, I know. It's really crazy. What? The nurse took live photos of the whole thing. So I was able to string together all the live photos to make a video of her birth. Yeah. So if anybody's pregnant and you're not allowed to film, Kaiser does not let you film.
Okay, I've heard so many bad things about Kaiser.
It's
probably because bad things can happen, and if you get it on camera, they're liable, and you have footage.
Exactly. I think that's exactly why. So live photos will save the whole situation because you can string them together and make a video.
Back to Kaiser, really quick, because I know we've talked about this in like way long ago, but I don't know if I ever shared this. I've always had Kaiser my entire life, and I love Kaiser. I've loved Kaiser. I've loved that your doctor is there. You can go to the optometrist downstairs. You can do blood work, blah, 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 blah. And then when we were and I switched to a PPO like a few times, and I'm like, let me try it out. I hated it. I hated how everything was so separated. Yeah. If I had to draw blood, I had to go to somewhere else, schedule an appointment. Like, it was just such a hassle for me, whereas Kaiser is all right there. In-house. It's easy. Yeah. In-house. Everyone has your information. Boom, bam, you're done. You're in, you're out. But then when I got pregnant the second time after the miscarriage, we were like, okay, we're going to switch from Kaiser, because when I had the miscarriage, I was at Kaiser. And not that Kaiser did anything wrong. I was just like, I want better care. I just want more options. Yeah. So we switched my health insurance, and I honestly think it was the best decision. Yeah. Because that's when I went touring all of the hospitals, seeing who did what, seeing who did like what I wanted. Yeah. Whereas Kaiser, it just is. Yeah. Like these are the rules.
Show up and these are the rules.
It's just like you've said, you were on a time limit, and I know we talked about this in another episode, and I was like, wow, I didn't even mention like how I've been Kaiser like my whole life until, and I haven't gone back to Kaiser, and it's still annoying because now when I draw blood, I do have I did my first full physical postpartum I did like a month ago, and it was annoying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to this other lab and
Quest Diagnostics.
Yes, it was so annoying. I had to make an appointment for that. Yeah. And like, see, if it was Kaiser, it'd all be in the same place. Yeah. But I'm glad I did not give birth at Kaiser. So just FYI, like, maybe that's something.
I didn't know that about Kaiser either. Like, until I didn't think to ask that ahead of time, because I thought, of course you would be able to film. Why wouldn't you be able to film? Yeah. You're yourself giving birth, literally. Yeah. But yeah, it is like my husband also had Kaiser his whole life. Yeah. And this is my first time, like right before having Poppy, having Kaiser ever. Oh. So you know, like, before I was on PPO, I think, where I had Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever, where I used to have to go to Quest Diagnostics and all that stuff.
So you switched.
Yes,
yeah.
Literally.
I'm now having to go to the Quest Diagnostics and all of that, but I haven't gone back just because if and when I have baby number 2, I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah. And then after that, like I even tell my husband, after that I'm going back to Kaiser. I just like having everything there, but I think for something as big as childbirth, it
is convenient too when you have the baby. Like I feel like having Poppy through Kaiser Like after the birthing process has been really great because everything is in house, and like we've gotten to choose which hospital we take her to, obviously. So like we've tried out the different locations, Downey, Cerritos, blah blah blah, and now we're like, oh, we really like Cerritos because it doesn't really look like a doctor's office and it's way more like home feeling. And so now like pediatrician wise, we go to specifically to Cerritos for Poppy stuff, whereas I will go to Downey because, you know, I don't really care. But that has been like, I had never having Kaiser, I didn't know you had options within the network to like go to literally whatever Kaiser wherever you feel most comfortable. And finding like the midwife that I had at Kaiser, I really, really loved, and I would go back and have her again. So
interesting.
There's plus and minuses.
That was one of the first things I did after I found out I was pregnant. I switched from HMO to PPO because you can change after you have like a life-altering whatever.
Yeah, but that's also interesting because if you're on a PPO, to get an HMO, because you pay more out of pocket
for sure
with a PPO for childbirth. So like you kind of still want to do your HMO, homework, but like the highest level of it. Yeah, just do your homework. And obviously we're all like self-employed, so everything's different for us too.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, just look into your options. And I know we've said this before, but look into all of them. Like if you're at Kaiser, maybe you don't want to be at Kaiser, or if you're at you know, whatever Blue Shield or whatever else, maybe you want to do a Kaiser. Up to you. Just look into it.
Yes.
We totally went off on a full health insurance tangent there, but it's just information that I wanted to make sure that we share.
It's important. Yeah, that's really important to at least know your options and make educated decisions on whatever you want to do at whatever age. You're pregnant, you have 1 baby, 2 babies, your kid's 5, 10, whatever it is. Yeah. You could have opinions and choices.
Definitely. And in our next episode, which since this is episode 14, we can all count to the next number. Our next one would be 15. It would be. But it's not going to be. Nope. It's going to be episode 14.2.
14.5?
Well, this is 14.1. Wouldn't the next one be 14.2?
No, this is 14.
This is 14.
So 14.5.
Then we're going halfway.
So we can't do math.
Then we're going halfway. Then we're going full way.
Like, who cares? We make up the rules.
Okay. Our next episode is 14.5. We're not getting into our special 15th episode just yet.
Not yet.
We want
it's
to do
not time for our quince. We're not ready.
We don't have our dresses yet. Wait, really quick, just on the quince talk. Did anyone here have a quince?
No.
Me either. So this will be all of our first quince.
Oh my gosh,
so it's going to be big. It's going to be big for us and for multiple reasons. Yes. So next episode, 14.5. We're going to do all of the things about baby talking. Starting to talk.
Yes.
Finding their voice, literally.
So cute. Okay.
First word. Bilingual in our houses.
Trilingual
kind of
over here.
Oh, trilingual.
Try. What's the try?
Signs. Sign language.
Oh, yes.
Same.
So then we're all trilingual.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's still language.
Trilingual. Okay.
And we're really getting into it with like between 8 and 12 months.
Yes.
So everything that happens between that time, which is so vast and crazy.
Which is still kind of fresh for me because we're like 16 months.
Yeah.
But it still feels so far away.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a world away. Facts. So we get to relive it. 8 to 12 months and everything talking. We're getting into it. Episode 14.5. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on Nightclubs to Nightfeeds. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we are, of course, always continuing the conversation on our social media. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Nightclubs to Nightfeeds. That's at Nightclubs, the number 2, and then Nightfeeds. Make sure to follow us and let us know if there's a topic you want us to cover. Can't wait to chat next time.